Moving on now, after 82 days of bombardment, the city of Mariupol is completely under Russian control. This after the Ukrainian soldiers who were holed up in the Azovstal steel plant were evacuated on Monday. The steel plant had been the last holdout of the troops defending the city of Mariupol. It had become a symbol of resistance, with soldiers living in underground tunnels and bunkers. But on Monday, more than 260 of them, many of them wounded, were evacuated through a humanitarian corridor to areas under the control of Moscow and Russian-backed separatists.
«16 травня з Азовсталі до медичного закладу в Новоазовську евакуйовано 53 важко поранених для надання медичної допомоги. Ще 211 осіб через гуманітарний коридор були доставлені в Оленівку.
It is still not clear how many Ukrainian soldiers still remain inside the steel plant. Ukraine's military said that they were working to evacuate all remaining troops from Mariupol, thereby ceding control of the city after months of assault. Mariupol, once a vibrant port city with more than 400,000 residents, now lays completely devastated, an example of Russia's willingness to destroy cities entirely, resisting its control. Meanwhile, Ukraine President Zelensky praised the soldiers and said that the country needs its Ukrainian heroes alive.
Щодо ситуації в Маріуполі, завдяки діям українських військових, Збройних сил України, розвідки, перемовної групи, Міжнародного комітету Червоного Хреста і ООН, ми маємо надію, що вдасться зберегти життя наших хлопців. Серед них є важко поранені. Їм надається допомога. Хочу підкреслити, українські герої потрібні Україні живими.
Meanwhile, Ukraine's forces made headway in the northeast region of Kharkiv. Troops advanced all the way to the Russian border, about 40 kilometers north of Kharkiv. These successes mark a counter-offensive launched by Ukraine to cut off supply lines for Russia's main offensive, which focuses on capturing the Donbas region. According to Putin's presidential advisor, Russian troops were being redeployed to take another easternmost city, which is still held by Ukraine. Its occupation would grant Russia the de facto control of Luhansk, one of the two regions along with Donetsk that make up Donbas. But Ukraine has said that Russia's attempt to encircle the city have been repelled with heavy equipment losses, while Russian-occupied railway bridges were blown up. Russia also continues to indiscriminately shell civilian areas throughout the Donbas region. Despite the resources of Moscow, Ukraine has managed to repel the Russian army for longer than many expected, fortified by weapons and money from Western allies. And for more on this, our correspondent Chris Jones has sent us this report from Riga in Latvia. Listen in.
This is a key strategic city for Russia to take. It has good infrastructure, it's a massive area, and it also has that key port access that goes out to the Black Sea. Despite that, though, this perhaps isn't the victory that Russia had hoped for. It's been prolonged over a long time now. We've seen that Ukrainian forces have been holed into that Azovstal steel plant for around 2 months now, and keeping that position, the Ukrainian government says, that has prevented around about 20,000 of Russian forces from mobilizing across parts of Zaporizhia and to the Donbas region, and that's really slowed down Russia's attempts to take the east of the country. So really, Ukraine has done a good job in keeping that area. So although a key moment for Russia in this phase of the war, not as quickly as it would have liked. Well, we've all seen the harrowing pictures, haven't we, of the besiegement of Mariupol and of the Azovstal steel plants. As you mentioned earlier, on Monday we saw a group of Ukrainian soldiers come out of the plants with a white flag and ask for negotiations. Now, those negotiations seem to have been completed. Around about 260 Ukrainian soldiers and around about 60 of those wounded have been taken to Russian-controlled towns now, where there will be be treated for their injuries. It's also believed that they will return back to the Ukrainian ranks in exchange for captured Russian soldiers. But President Volodymyr Zelensky is very clear that this is going to be a difficult and long process that's going to take delicacy and time. And of course, there are still people trapped inside the steel plants, and negotiations are ongoing to make sure that they are freed as quickly as possible too.
WION World is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news updates on the move.